What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl Vanity here. How are you guys doing on this beautiful Sunday? Happy Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there. I hope you all are having a beautiful day, golfing, at a spa, doing whatever, guys like to do and spending quality time with your children. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Now, let's get into it. It is Trouble in Paradise, you guys, with Miss Kandi Burruss and Sanya Ross. So, if you haven't been keeping up with what is going on the blogs, Sanya has been on like a tour of interviews, talking about last week's episode, talking about the season, talking about, her family, etc., and all things Real Housewives of Atlanta. So on her stop, on her little interview tour that she's been on, she went on Carlos King's podcast. Now, if you don't know who Carlos King is, he is a previous producer of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and is currently the producer of the shows Bell Collective, and what's the other shows? Lord have mercy. Love and Marriage, Huntsville, which is my show. Why y'all be having my brain goes blank sometimes. Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage DC, and now there is going to be an iteration of Love and Marriage Detroit that's coming out. So Sanya went on Carlos King's podcast, and on his podcast, she was kind of throwing shade at Kandi. I don't like the way that she was answering certain questions about my girl Kandi. And so Kandi has gotten wind of not only what she has said on Carlos's podcast, but several other interviews that she's done in the past week. So some of the stuff that she was talking about on the podcast with Carlos King is, obviously the situation that has transpired between Kandi and Marlo, how she feels about Marlo's interactions with Kandi. And I think the main issue that I'm assuming that Kandi has, and I think the general audience has about Sanya, is the fact that Sanya enables Marlo. Marlo can do no wrong in Sanya's eyes. Everything that Marlo does, Sanya makes excuses for it. Oh, but she's so sweet and she's so thoughtful and she's so this and this. No, Sanya. No. Being thoughtful is not an excuse for being a whole terrorist. Marlo is terrible. We have seen the crazy things that Marlo has said and done in her past, and you cannot continue to make excuses for this woman. Whereas, we have all tried over the span of about 10 years to give Marlo grace because of her issues in foster care, her abandonment issues, different things that she's gone through with her family and her mom. We've tried to be as patient with Marlo as possible as viewers of the show, but Marlo is terrible. She really is terrible. She said the worst and most abysmal things to Kenya in the past, and now she's coming for Kandi for absolutely no reason. Sanya, that your girl Marlo's dead wrong, but I believe that you need an ally, and you don't want to lose your ally. I don't even know if I would call it a friendship that you have with Marlo, because I don't enable my friends like this. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to blow my friends up and embarrass them in front of the world, but if my friends are doing something that's dead wrong, I'm definitely going to pull them to the side and have a conversation with them so that they can make corrections in their behavior. And people are upset with you, Sanya, because you're not doing that. Anyway, fast forward to a couple of days ago. Again, Sanya's on Carlos's podcast. She's on his podcast making excuses as she normally does for Marlo. And then I think this is what really got under Kandi's skin. And I'm going to give Carlos some grace as well, because all of the housewives, he always asked them this question. So I don't think that he was being messy in this question, but he asked Sanya, if you could bring back and create your own Real Housewives of Atlanta cast, who would you have on the cast? And you can pick people from the past or your present cast. So Sanya, she says Sheree, her, and Marlo. Then she says, I believe she said she wanted to bring back Portia, Phaedra, and Claudia Jordan. So she just said, forget about Kenya and Kandi. And her excuse was, well, I already filmed with Kenya and Kandi, so, I want to film with some new people. Well, Sanya, you are clearly picking sides because you've already filmed with Sheree and Marlo, so you going to bring back Sheree and Marlo over Kenya and Kandi? girl, and then like you haven't met any of these ladies. You don't know Portia and Phaedra or what it's like to film with them. So you're gonna bring back those people and Claudia, where I love Claudia. Now I will say this. I would actually bring Claudia back just because I feel like she had the short end of the stick. She only got one season, and I think Claudia has a dynamic personality. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Back to the subject at hand. Basically, Sanya said, I'm going to kick Kandi to the curb. So fast forward to yesterday, every week, right after the episode airs on Sundays, Kandi drops her speak on it. Well, and she usually does a preview for, her speak on it the day before. She dropped her speak on it preview and she's pissed, you guys. She was like, so Sanya, you gonna kick me off, but you gonna leave yourself on the cast? And she's like, girl, get out of here. She's not feeling her. She feels like Sanya is very disloyal. Kandi feels as though, we have developed a friendship outside of the show. We vacation together, and this is how you're gonna play me out? Kandi didn't use those exact words, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Kandi's not happy, and rightfully so. It's like, girl, you know me just as well as you know Marlo. Why are you enabling this woman to sit here and try to ruin me, my reputation, and my businesses? You supposed to be my girl. The least you could do is stay neutral. The least you could do is, talk to both of them, tell them when they're both wrong, but you don't do that. And so, in turn, how can Kandi ever be your friend? Like, how could she ever be friends with you? I wouldn't trust you as far as I could throw you. And I'm sure, obviously, when we saw the preview of the speak on it, we see that Kandi, she sees that now. She's like, oh, word. Not only are you doing this, you didn't defend me in the few episodes ago with Courtney, when Courtney was trying to say that my event was ghetto and I bring all the ghetto people to the event. We see now, and Kandi sees, Sanya, that you are playing in everybody's face. You don't care about being fair and equal. You just care about, for whatever reason, your loyalty to Marlo, which I believe is rooted in some type of weird obligation you feel to her. Or I don't know. I don't believe it's a friendship. I don't know why you have this dying loyalty to Marlo. I don't get it. But it's really, really sad. And I feel like instead of focusing on being the ride or die for Marlo, and that ship is like going off into the wind, because I don't think Marlo, personally, I don't think she's going to come back next season. Sanya, you need to be focused more on your husband and the baby, and like get more into that story. We want to hear and see more of that. I don't want to see you defending Marlo anymore. I can't take it. It's driving me nuts because you're defending someone who is constantly sparking up negativity and just bringing bad behavior for no reason to the show. And it's like she's creating a storyline out of nowhere. So I can't wait to see Kandi speak on it. I want to come back and talk to you guys about that as she goes more in depth. But you can clearly see she is not here for Sanya anymore. And Sanya, a word of the wise to you, stop doing interviews. If you can't come correct and talk about, look, I love Marlo, but she's dead wrong, because you really could just say that. I love Marlo, that's my girl, but she's dead wrong. That's what we really want to hear you say. And we want to actually see you turn around and tell her that a time or two. If you're not going to come like that, then just stop. Don't even have a comment on the situation. Because if I were Kandi, I would feel the same way and I would be done with you. So, let's see what Kandi has to say after the speak on it tonight. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later when I do my review on the Real Housewives of Atlanta's new episode. Happy Father's Day. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.